Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air, the emergency unfolding right now. Racing to escape the flames, winds now gusting up to 100 miles per hour, unleashing fires across Southern California. The evacuations underway at this hour. Families racing to get out, and the well-known actor now sharing video of the flames near his home. We're on the scene. Also tonight, the other major weather concern, the Arctic blast sweeping in across multiple states tonight. Wind chills below zero. And now the new storm moving from Texas all the way up to the northeast. Ginger Z standing by with the forecast. Tonight, President-elect Donald Trump not ruling out military force to acquire Greenland and the Panama Canal, and is now threatening to pressure Canada to become part of the U.S. Tonight, the disturbing discovery following a JetBlue flight from New York City to Fort Lauderdale. The bodies of two men found in the landing gear wheel well. Just in tonight, new video from the Cybertruck bombing outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Why investigators now believe the suspect used artificial intelligence in his plan. Tonight, authorities also releasing this new image here of the New Orleans terror suspect. Why they need your help tonight when this image was taken of the suspect riding a bike in the French Quarter. The parent company of Facebook tonight issuing a major policy change. Mark Zuckerberg eliminating fact checkers on Facebook. It comes after a recent meeting with President-elect Trump. The moving images late today as the nation remembers former President Jimmy Carter. His casket carried up the Capitol steps. And later tonight, remembering a key member of Peter, Paul, and Mary has died. Helped define an era.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, everyone. As we come on the air here in the West tonight, we do begin with breaking news at this hour. 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, hurricane-force winds, unleashing fires across Southern California at this hour. These are the images coming in right now. Authorities are calling this a, quote, particularly dangerous situation, a fast-moving wildfire racing through Pacific Palisades. Tens of thousands racing to evacuate homes already lost tonight. The fire breaking out on a hilltop west of Los Angeles, already burning across more than 1,200 acres. Firefighters racing to the scene, some deployed ahead of time. They knew the winds were going to be dangerous. The fire spreading quickly, destroying this truck. So many families racing to get out, and tonight after James Woods posting this video of flames near his home. Everyone in Pacific Palisades told to leave, many caught in traffic jams, some leaving on foot tonight, grabbing only what they could. And tonight, the winds are expected to only strengthen overnight, a dangerous night ahead. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman leading us off. He's on the scene in California tonight.
Tonight, the Palisades fire burning homes and forcing thousands to run for their lives. The fire erupting in the Pacific Palisade foothills west of Los Angeles around 10:30 local time. Fire trucks racing to the scene, aircraft attacking it from above.
We threw everything we had at it really quick. We knew that if we didn't get it in 20 minutes, it would go to hundreds of acres.
But those efforts, no match for those devastating Santa Ana winds.
Just in the past couple of seconds since we've been here, this fire has crested this little hill we're on. The entire basin here is engulfed in flames. You can see it all the way down to the ocean behind me. That's where that light is. You can see that fire right now taking over that pile of leaves and debris, and behind us the bulk of that massive fire now taking over most of this northern part of Pacific Palisades.
The entire population of Pacific Palisades ordered to evacuate, traffic gridlocked for miles. Drivers stuck beside burning hillsides, some setting out on foot, vehicles catching fire. What's going on up there?
Houses on fire up in the corner and all the way down that street.
Megan Garman, her daughter, and their dog evacuating on foot after they abandoned their vehicle.
Well, the smoke just got really bad, so I just started packing up all of our stuff, and we got in the car to go. And then all the cars were abandoned, so I had nowhere to go, so I just had to get out of my car and start walking. The smoke is so bad.
Authorities helping the family to safety. Actor James Woods posting this video of flames near his home.
We've got a lot of planes going over, dropping water, but
you can see how that wind is casting the embers, sending that fire right into that house just above that stand of trees in there.
Firefighters in an all-out battle to save this shopping center, pulling hoses right through businesses, and even using buckets at one point to stop the spread. The fire danger throughout Southern California critical because of a Santa Ana windstorm that could bring gusts of 100 miles an hour to some areas. The National Weather Service going as far as to warn people to stay away from windows. David, the fire behind me burning so hot you can actually hear it hissing. The entire row of houses here in Pacific Palisades on the street going down in that direction is now on fire. We have not seen a firefighter here. And more bad news for the tens of thousands of residents here in the Pacific Palisades. The winds are forecast to increase tonight and into tomorrow across most of LA County. Millions of people are going to become affected. David.
This is just awful. All right, Matt, you and the crew stay safe. Matt, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z tracking these fires overnight, the conditions worsening. Also, the other major concern at this hour, the deep freeze, this new storm moving into the east. But Ginger, of course, let's start with these fires. A dangerous night ahead.
Oh, David, terrifying night ahead with wind gusts that just came in at Magic Mountain in the San Gabriel Mountains of 86 miles per hour. That's what's ahead for tonight through tomorrow. It is only going to get worse because of the squeeze of those upper level winds coming over the mountains, and then they can kind of collapse and even create eddies. At this point, with how dry they are, with the relative humidities 5 to 15%, that particularly dangerous situation, red flag warning event up, trees and power lines coming down, we're worried that any fire that starts or that has already started is going to be almost unfightable by tomorrow morning. Look at those wind gusts, 62, Santa Clarita. That is 9 a.m. Pacific time. That same low that will eventually eject and reach Dallas, Little Rock, Nashville, all with winter storm alerts already up. We're talking about the deep south that doesn't get this type of snow often, northern Mississippi, northern Georgia and Alabama. And eventually, David, we get the snow again by the weekend.
Going to be really dangerous as it moves across the country, but we are all thinking about the millions in California tonight. This is really dangerous stuff. Ginger Z tonight, thank you. We turn to the other news this evening, and this evening, President-elect Donald Trump refusing to rule out using the military to take control of Greenland and the Panama Canal, and also saying that Canada should become part of the U.S. Here's Selina Wang.
President-elect Trump tonight doubling down on his push to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal, refusing to rule out using the military to do it.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country.
Trump also saying he would use, quote, economic force to pressure Canada to join the United States, and announced he will soon rename the Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate.
In the wide-ranging press conference, I asked Trump about his vow to pardon the January 6 rioters.
More than 140 police officers were injured by rioters on January 6. Will you pardon anyone who attacked a police officer?
Well, you know, the only one that was killed was a beautiful young lady named Ashley Babbitt. She was killed. This would be the only insurrection in history where people went in as insurrectionists with not one gun. Okay? And let me tell you, the people that you're talking about have a lot of guns in their home for hunting and for shooting and for entertainment, a lot of good reasons. But there wasn't one gun that they found.
Ashley Babbitt was shot by Capitol Police as the mob tried to storm the House chamber, but guns were found on several rioters. Today, Trump would not say if he would pardon those convicted of violent offenses, including assaulting police officers.
And David, back to the president-elect's demands to take over the Panama Canal, Greenland and Canada. Tonight, the Prime Minister of Denmark, which owns Greenland, is declaring Greenland is not for sale and will not be in the future either. And Canada's Justin Trudeau is saying there isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would become part of the United States. David?
Selina Wang tonight. Selina, thank you. We turn next tonight to the disturbing discovery following a JetBlue flight from New York City to Fort Lauderdale. The bodies of two men found dead in the landing gear wheel well. The plane had taken off from JFK. Victor Oquendo from Florida.
Tonight, authorities investigating after two men were found dead inside the landing gear compartment of this JetBlue airplane. The flight arriving from New York's JFK airport to Fort Lauderdale overnight. A gate technician sounding the alarm during a post-flight inspection.
The gate technician in the landing gear area noticed 2 males who appear to be Signal 7 as they are not moving.
Paramedics pronouncing the men dead at the scene.
Detectives will be looking at all aspects contributing to the circumstances of this incident.
A number of recent incidents raising security concerns. On Christmas Eve, a body found in the wheel well of a United flight from Chicago to Maui. That same day, a stowaway delaying a Delta flight from Seattle to Honolulu. TSA stating the passenger was screened at a security checkpoint, but bypassed the identity verification and made it through without showing a boarding pass.
We can't have even 1 or 2 slip on board an airplane because of the obvious security risk. So the question here is, what in the world is going on? Where is the lapse in the procedures?
And David, as for what happened here in Fort Lauderdale, JetBlue calling this heartbreaking, saying they'll work closely with authorities to understand how this happened. David?
All right, Victor Oquendo. Victor, thank you. The new turn tonight after that truck explosion outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Authorities say new video shows the suspect pouring racing fuel in the back of his truck and that he used AI, artificial intelligence, to plot the attack. Here's Mola Lengi.
Tonight, authorities in Las Vegas releasing new video they say shows Master Sergeant Matthew Livelsberger preparing for that Cybertruck explosion outside of the Trump Hotel. Police say this is Livelsberger at a parking lot, pulling out a white can of racing fuel from the back of the truck, then pouring that fuel onto the vehicle, where they say he had stored more than 60 pounds of explosive materials.
Almost 20 gallons of fuel were poured over the fireworks and the explosive materials that were inside the cargo compartments of the Cybertruck.
Video showing that Cybertruck later pulling up in front of the hotel on New Year's Day, moments later exploding into a fireball. And tonight, investigators say the decorated Green Beret used ChatGPT to plot the attack, including where to buy fireworks and how much to buy. Authorities saying Livelsberger dying by suicide in that truck just before that blast. 7 others were injured.
Well, authorities say they also found a 6-page document on Livelsberger's cell phone detailing his struggles with mental health. Tonight, investigators working on getting into another one of his electronic devices in the hopes of getting out even more information, David.
All right, Mola Lengi back with us tonight. Mola, thank you. This evening, there is news the parent company of Facebook has now eliminated fact-checking on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg recently meeting with President-elect Trump and what Facebook will now do instead. Here's Rebecca Jarvis.
Tonight, a seismic shift in strategy. CEO Mark Zuckerberg announcing Meta will eliminate its third-party fact-checking, a program originally designed to combat misinformation.
And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
The change coming just days before Donald Trump takes office. Zuckerberg acknowledging the move was prompted in part by the election.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
But Zuckerberg says the change also aligns with his long-held personal views on free speech.
I believe that people should decide what is credible, not tech companies.
Meta will phase in a community note system, letting users decide which posts are misleading, a model similar to X's, the platform run by Elon Musk. The move, a kind of reset for Zuckerberg and Facebook, which President-elect Trump once called a true enemy of the people. Zuckerberg recently traveling to Mar-a-Lago to meet Trump. And just yesterday, Meta adding key Trump ally Dana White, CEO of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, to its board of directors. And in fact, David, Mark Zuckerberg and Dana White have recently bonded over their shared passion for mixed martial arts. The president-elect Trump today said he welcomed the changes from Meta and that the company's come a long way. David?
All right, Rebecca Jarvis reporting. Rebecca, thank you. Overseas tonight, a powerful 7.1 earthquake in Tibet near Mount Everest. Surveillance showing violent shaking, people running inside a store, debris crashing down. You can see the images here. At least 126 dead tonight, that number climbing. Buildings reduced to rubble. First responders racing to find survivors now. Back here at home tonight, the nation honoring our 39th president. Former President Jimmy Carter is now lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. His funeral is on Thursday at the National Cathedral in Washington and will carry it. Tonight, Terry Moran on a president who left Washington defeated after one term, but who returned today redefined by his decades of service after his presidency.
Tonight, in the somber silence under the Capitol dome, Jimmy Carter, the nation's longest-lived president, lies in state. Earlier today, the late president's remains were brought out from the Human Rights Center that's named for him in Atlanta, where the former Georgia governor had lain in state. An Air Force flight, Special Air Mission 39, carried the 39th president, who was born and died in Plains, Georgia, to a sunny and snow-covered Washington, D.C. The motorcade making its way to the U.S. Navy Memorial in downtown Washington. Carter authorized its construction when he was president. He served as a naval officer on board the country's first experimental nuclear submarine. It was his dream to join the Navy, and he chose this spot to play a special role in his own funeral. Carter's flag-draped casket was then transferred to a horse-drawn caisson and began its slow procession down Pennsylvania Avenue, the farewell echoing this historic moment from 1977, when the Carters got out of their car and walked to the White House on his inauguration day. Today at the Capitol, his casket was carried with care and precision, step by step. Vice President Kamala Harris remembering Carter as a president ahead of his time.
Jimmy Carter was that all too rare example of a gifted man who also walks with humility, modesty, and grace.
As tonight, the nation pauses to honor this son of the South and his remarkable century of service. David, tonight Jimmy Carter has returned to a very different Washington than the one he left after his presidency, even more divided than back then. But it seems, if only for just a moment, that there's some unity here in paying tribute to a remarkable American life. David?
It really was quite moving, Terry. We'll see you Thursday for the funeral, Terry. Thank you. When we come back here tonight, authorities are asking for the public's help tonight. They have just released a new image this evening of the terror suspect in New Orleans. We're going to show you and why they believe this image is significant tonight. Also, we remember a famous singer. Their voice, that trio, defined a generation. Tonight, the FBI has released a new image of New Orleans terror suspect Shamsuddin Jabbar, accused of using a pickup truck to run down victims in the French Quarter, killing 14 people. Well, tonight here, authorities are revealing a new photo of him riding a bike through the French Quarter. This was on Halloween, possibly, they say, mapping out his deadly attack on New Year's. They're asking anyone who saw him that day to come forward. When we come back here tonight, the close call, the massive sinkhole opening up in Philadelphia. And we remember a famous singer tonight. You'll remember the songs. To the Index surveillance video tonight, a close call for a city bus in Philadelphia, a sinkhole opening moments after the bus drove over it. The street buckling under the bus, weakened by a ruptured water main. Moments later, a giant hole. The street remains closed for repairs. When we come back here tonight, remembering a key member of Peter, Paul, and Mary. Their music defined an era. Finally tonight here, remembering Peter Yarrow, part of the famous folk trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary, the legendary 1960s folk trio.
Lord, I'm 500 miles from my home.
Their music, their distinct harmonies, their lyrics, full of moving stories. Their song, If I Had a Hammer.
I'd sing out a warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
The timeless Puff the Magic Dragon.
Puff the magic dragon, live by the sea. Sing it with us and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Annalee.
They would record John Denver's Leaving on a Jet Plane.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
Peter Yarrow writing often with Paul Stuckey, the last surviving member of the group. Mary Travers died in 2009. Often lending their voices for civil rights and against Vietnam.
How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned?
Peter Yarrow died at the age of 86 earlier today at home in New York City, surrounded by loved ones after a years-long battle with bladder cancer. Tonight here, Peter Yarrow, in his own words.
America's genius is that we can change, and it can come from the people. But we have to stand up for what we believe in.
The answer is blowing in the wind.
music helped define an era. I'm David Muir. I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.